The FIU Football Weekly, Week 10 is in the books. Panthers now look ahead to Middle Tennessee after a tough loss to Old Dominion. And, Coach, let's go over that game with the Monarchs. High-scoring game, like, kind of anticipated, but didn't get off to the start you wanted as far defensively.
No, we didn't, and we knew they were going to make plays. They're a very good offensive team. They got a great, experienced fifth-year quarterback that's a very good player. So we knew they were going to make some plays. And, we got off to a pretty good start offensively. First drive, 18 plays, over 8.5 minutes. That's one of the things we wanted to do. Obviously, run the ball was our game plan. And, we felt that was the best way to move it and score points and also keep their offense off the field. And we did it well at times. Unfortunately, at the end of the game, when we got the ball back with 6 minutes to go, we all we needed to do is get a couple first downs, and we couldn't get them. And we really weren't trying to just run the clock out and get first downs. We were trying to run our game plan and go down and score. But we didn't get a first down. We had ran the ball on first down, lost 5 yards, and that made it difficult. But it was a disappointing game. I was frustrated for our players because we've had 3 games that have come down to the last second field goal, and all 3 have gone against us. We had the one where we were kicking a field goal, and we dropped the snap, and then twice, we have the ball with less than 2 minutes to go, a tie game where you have a chance to go down and get a game-winning field goal or go to overtime, and we turn it over both times. So it's frustrating. I'm disappointed for our guys because they are playing really hard. They're playing their hearts out. They're doing everything we ask them to do, at least most of them, and a very high percentage of them. And, I want to see them rewarded with some wins in these close games, and it's part of the process. We have to learn how to win these close games.
Offensively, you got good production out of Anthon Samuel and Napoleon Maxwell. Was there a strategy in employing those guys? I mean, was it, go until you need a break, or because you pretty much ran the entire game?
Yeah, and that's what we said that was our plan going into it. We knew we were going to use both of them, and it was kind of a feel thing. Kerry Dixon does a really good job of, getting a feel for which guy to be in there, and one's in there, and when he feels he's a little bit tired, we put the other one in. And they both played a lot, and they both very productive, and obviously our offensive line, tight ends did a good job, blocking for the run.
Old Dominion offensively, they ran, I guess, a variety of the spread offense, which you guys have seen this year. The slow starter, was it just, maybe a different environment that the guys were playing in, or what do you think defensively for the slow start?
No, I don't think so. If you look at it, there were some breakdowns. The first play of the game, they pop off, I think, about a 16-yard run or whatever, and we just didn't fit the gaps right. The guy was supposed to be in the B gap wasn't in the B gap. And the end got up field a little bit too far. He didn't squeeze quite as much as he should have. So it was little things like that, and they hit it right in that B gap where our 3 technique should have been. And, so things like that we just didn't execute quite as well. But, and they're a good team. We knew they were going to make some plays.
Overall, Alex Magoo didn't throw that many passes. I thought he had a good game in execution-wise, what you wanted to offensively. Your thoughts on Alex's performance?
Yeah, I thought he did what we asked him to do. Didn't have a lot of opportunities throwing the ball. When he did, he made good decisions, went to the right place, and threw the ball with good accuracy. Did a great job in the run game. We have put a lot on his plate in the run game. As far as checks, run checks, going strong, going weak, or whatever. He did a really good job at that, and obviously carried the ball out. Had 16 rushes, and carried it actually more than I would like him to. And we got to take some of that load off him, or we're not going to have him. But he's a great competitor, and I thought he had a good game. Obviously, the play at the end hurt, but it wasn't just him. It was the protection as well,
right.
And he's trying to make a play, and he's a young guy, and he's got to learn that may not be the time to try to force to make a play. We got a tie game, worst case scenario, let's go to overtime. And he saw the back open, was trying to get it to him, got hit as he did, got pressure, stepped up, got hit. In that case, he just got to hold on to the ball.
Okay. Moving ahead now to Middle Tennessee, they, like last week, Old Dominion, they score a lot and give up a lot. They score 33 a game, allow 31 a game. This is a team that FIU historically is familiar with, former Sun Belt Conference rival. Your first thoughts on Middle as you've seen film them?
Well, they're a good team. A good team, like you said. Offensively, they they do a nice job. They can score some points, and they do it both ways. Running, throwing the ball, a lot of play action passes. They hurt us with play action passes last year. They just do a nice job of mixing it up. And they're a good, solid football team. I think they're 4-1 in the conference right now. So they're probably second best team in our conference right now in most people's minds. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. But, I think our guys will be ready for it.
And another mobile quarterback the defense is going to have to deal with, Austin Grammer. If you take away the sacks, he's had 421 yards rushing gained. another challenge defensively.
No question, and that's pretty typical of what we see. Everybody's running the same offense. Everybody's running some form of the spread, and they're running the zone read, the gap read, all the different things like that. And most people that we play nowadays do have a mobile quarterback. So and guys that can are mobile but can also throw it, and they're no different. They've got a very good quarterback.
And then you look at their running game. I mean, their smaller back is actually their more productive back, Reggie Watley, the 179-pounder, who has about 7 yards a carry. And then you got to deal with the big guy, Jordan Parker, a 220-pound back. So double whammy there.
No question about it. They've got the strength to pound up in, and they've got quickness. So and their offensive line does a nice job. They got a good offensive line, and they do a nice job. So, and again, as I said earlier, they do a great job of mixing it up: run, pass, play action, different things. So we're going to have to go out and play and be sound and execute our techniques, our fundamentals, and our assignments. And last week we had some discipline errors, some mental errors, not a ton of them, but we had them at critical times.
Yeah.
4th and 3 at the end of the game, but we had them at some critical times in both phases, offensively and defensively. And, we got to eliminate those errors in critical times. And again, that's the process of young guys learning how to finish the games.
Defensively, they got pretty good guys. Defensive end Schubert Bastian leads the team with 8 tackles for loss. Their linebacker has only 9 total tackles. Leighton Bask, but 6 of them are sacks. So they get after the quarterback pretty well defensively.
Yeah, they do. They do a really good job of mixing in their pressures. They're not a huge pressure team, but they'll mix them in, and they seem to call them at the right time. And so you got to be alert for it. You always got to be alert for it. They will do it. And, certain games they do it more than others. So we'll see what their plan is for us. But they're very, very good defensively, good up front, good linebackers, and, an experienced team. I think they've got 8 or 9 guys that have started at least 23, 24 games. So they've got some experience coming back.
Panthers take on the Blue Raiders on Saturday from FIU Stadium. 3:30 is kickoff.
I said that last run before the preceded that one was right up the middle. Remember, they lost their starting center. Samuel puts his head down, and Samuel inside the 10. Samuel for the touchdown.
Welcome back to FIU Football Weekly. Running back Anthon Samuel joins me again after a terrific game on Saturday. Obviously not the result you guys wanted, but you guys were able to run the ball on Old Dominion. Just let's talk about first, 137 yards for you. That's a season high. What did you see? Obviously they're a generous defense when it comes to allowing the run, but what did you see on Saturday that allowed you to have that kind of success?
Our coaches, they had a good game plan to how we was going to run the ball, but the biggest success with running against Old Dominion was the missed tackles, and we was able to capitalize off of that.
You say missed tackles, and immediately comes to mind that 26-yard touchdown run where, yeah, they missed some tackles, but you ran over a few Monarchs on the way to the end zone.
With that run, that whole game I felt great. I had a different mindset going in. The day before the game or right before the game, Coach Shankweiler told us to go back to the days when you were young, when you was in the 8th grade and you didn't care about having mistakes when you were playing. And that's what I felt throughout the whole game. I didn't worry about making mistakes. I just try to play mistake-free but play hard at the same time.
Yeah, play free like if you were, in the backyard,
Right.
playing 8-on-8 or something like that.
Right.
Okay. Did they seem undersized a little bit? I mean, I know their coach, Bobby Wilder, was saying that, we have good skill players, but we still have to get bigger. Did you see their defense may be a little smaller than other defenses you face this year?
Their line, a little bit. I seen them undersized, but their linebackers in the secondary, it wasn't no different from anybody else we faced this year.
Besides your success, Napoleon Maxwell had a nice game. The freshman, ever since he's gotten extended work, has had a good debut here in his FIU freshman season. Talk a little bit about what Napoleon brings and, why you think he's had the success early on.
Napoleon is a great player. He's very fast and he's very powerful. And with us, I try to determine who was thunder and who was lightning. But it seems like we both can bring that combination to the field. And he's impressed me a lot. And he's came a long way from where he was at the beginning of the season. And I think Coach Dixon helped him mature into that. After practice, he's been getting extra work, and it's showing on the field.
Where do you think Napoleon has grown more, or where do you think he's developed the most since the beginning of the season to now?
Mentally. At the beginning, he was worrying about making too many mistakes. Just as Coach Shankweiler talked about Saturday, don't worry about making mistakes. And Coach Dixon beat that into his head. Don't worry about making mistakes. And ever since then, since he took that to heat, he's been playing great.
Okay. The Middle Tennessee defense, Old Dominion allowed 233 rushing yards a game. Middle allows 174. And it seems on paper a defense that can be run on. What have you seen on film from the Middle Tennessee defense?
Definitely a defense that can be ran on. It just depends on how you game plan around them. And the teams that I've watched so far, they have great game plan against Middle Tennessee, and hopefully we can do the same. Well, I know we'll do the same because Coach Turner is a great coach when it comes to things like that.
In Bowling Green, you had rivals that you played in the MAC, teams that you faced more often than others. Middle Tennessee is a team that was in the Sun Belt Conference with FIU. Now they're both in Conference USA. Is there a little added meaning to that game, or is it just, everybody's the same?
It's everybody the same. You take each game the same, and Middle Tennessee is the same. We don't want to do too much, don't have too much emotion into it, because when you do, you're liable to make more mistakes. So Middle Tennessee is the same. We're going to play the same as we do every other game.
Panthers and Blue Raiders kick off at 3:30 on Saturday from FIU Stadium. Pregame is on 3 o'clock on ESPN, 12:10 a.m.